In the UK, we have some of the worst performing housing in all of Europe in terms of thermal efficiency. So we lose more energy through our doors, walls and windows than any other country in Europe. This is something that, in the context of a cost of living crisis, in the context of a climate crisis, is a profound level of irresponsibility for the country and for professions and organizations that steward the built environment. We want to really explicitly try and respond to this challenge with this iteration of Rebuilders. And we don't just want to think about how do we build new buildings in a regenerative way, but we also want to think about how do we repair, adapt, retrofit all of the existing buildings that we have, because we know that by 2050, 90% of the buildings that will exist then already do exist now.
Rebuilders was quite an interesting experience. It was a really diverse group and had quite grand ambitions. And I was mostly just really inspired and enjoyed meeting all these different people. It's just really inspiring to meet people who are doing really interesting work and see different ways of building, I guess.
It's been an really interesting course, because most of my work is done in this kind of environment around the slough. It's all plasterboard and insulation and stud work. When we did the course, there was a lot of work that was going to be done with sustainable materials. We got involved in the Rebuilders course because they were looking at work in retrofitting buildings with sustainable materials, which was very interesting. And a new area for us. To learn about that in the classroom was really good, because it was an eye-opener, the stuff that you can work with that's a lot better for our health, for the environment and all those kind of things.
I thought it was fantastic. My own building practice has been focused on houses and small-scale structures, but it's just really interesting to see how even taking these ecological principles and sustainable building methods and scaling them up, going and visiting places like the Enterprise Centre, those kind of things where you've got a massive structure that's built with the same ethos and mentality as what I use, and it creates the same feeling. You have this preconception that when buildings go above a certain scale, that they lose that soul and that connection to how they feel when you're in them. And it was just really nice to go into these structures at that scale and for them to still feel the same, to still feel like you're being hugged by the space that you're in.
In the previous Rebuilders, we really focused on construction companies in the West Midlands specifically. This time, we still want to have an explicit focus on building, on construction, on the built environment, but because of the multifaceted nature of doing retrofit works, we want to open the program out to a wider set of practitioners. For the second Rebuilders program, we want this to be something that anyone from any form of built environment practice can be involved in. Any kind of practitioner who interfaces with built environment work, we want this next program to be a space where all of these different backgrounds are able to join, learn about these processes of bio-based material retrofit, and kind of critically interrogate the position of themselves as practitioners in these processes, but also of their organization as well, and think about how in the future they may be able to kind of push their individual work and their collective practice more into this space of bio-based retrofit in neighborhoods just like where we are.